What's up, guys? Are you tired of spending money on marketing, but your phone doesn't ring? I remember when I started this business many years ago that I did what they said, the gurus told me to do, and go give this person this money, and it's going to be awesome. And what I found out is the phone didn't start ringing, right? And so tonight I'm going to talk about what's working in 2025. What are some things that we need to do with marketing, not just the old ways of doing it, but how are we getting seen by AI? What are some things that we might need to do to get shown so that the AI pulls us up too? I seen a study the other day that over 25% is now AI that is getting shown in the marketplace. And so you might not think that's a lot, but it is a lot, and it's going to be more and more as we keep moving into 2025, 2026, and 2027. So some of you don't know, but an agent or a AI bot agent, they said in 2027 there will be more agents that are going out doing stuff than there is humans. So think about that. So this is some things that we need to start thinking about. How do we get showing up into the AI? And how do we get jobs? Maybe we don't want to do the AI. Maybe we want to do old methods. And we'll talk about that tonight too, because I still believe that good old networking still works amazing in 2025 as if it did 10 years ago, 15 years ago, of the whole thing of this here. So I'm going to show you actually what works in your pressure washing and Christmas light business. So I am streaming this to both because this is something that we really need to think about. How do we get leads? I seen a thing the other day that someone said, "How busy are you?" "I'm down." And everybody's like, "I'm up, I'm up, I'm up." And so most people that I know are coaching are either up or they might be down a little bit. It just depends on where they are, what are they doing in their business. And so that's what I really want to talk about with you tonight in how to grow your business. So with that, I have a book of the week. This book of the week, I just started reading this book. It is a great book. I highly recommend this book. Especially if you want to grow and scale. If you just starting out, this might not be the book for you, but if you're wanting to grow and scale, this is going to be the book for you. And so if I can keep him set up. But this is a book that I highly recommend you to read. It is something about scaling your business, how to scale your business, and so all of these awesome things about this, right? And I agree. Hit the like button. Give me some comments. I'd like to hear where you all, how was your weekend this weekend? I'd like to hear some of that. But this is the book of the week, The 7 Power Contractor. And so it is a book that I highly recommend it. I'm about halfway through it right now. It talks about systems and the systems that you need. And let me tell you, if you want to grow and scale your business beyond you, you definitely need to make sure that you are reading this book. So that is what I'm just telling you, that will help you and learn and grow your business. So this weekend, I actually had a horse show with my daughter, my youngest daughter. We made it up there 2 days. I didn't make it up all week. It's not too far away from us. It's not like WEC Ocala, it's WEC Wilmington. And so R&L owns this place, so it's a pretty cool place that we went this weekend and had a great weekend. And I'm excited, and I want to tell you why I'm excited, because I've got people signing up for a pressure washing class. And so I haven't done many pressure washing classes the last 2 years. And so I did one in the spring, and I've got one here coming up in August. And here's what I'm excited about this pressure washing class, because I am going to make it for you to be successful, right? I'm going to tailor this pressure washing class to you. If depending on how many people show up, will be how much I can tailor it for you. And so if there is things that you want to work on in your business, this is a time that you will be able to do that. And I will be having more pressure washing classes here, being that I can have them here in my shop, and this is the awesome thing that will be awesome about it. Even with the or Christmas lights, I will be having some Christmas light classes here. And again, I'm here for you to help you. I want you to grow your business. You know, it's exciting to see people that are taking action, like Aaron King. He came to my last Dallas class, and now he's in mentorship, and he's taking action. He's stopping at hotels and asking, and he's booking jobs, and he's getting quotes, right? And this is the cool thing about when you come to these classes of taking action. You know, if you're not going to take action, it really isn't going to do you no good. And in this next class coming up in Charlotte, this Christmas light class coming up in Charlotte is going to be lit. It's going to be awesome. So not only myself is there, but Paul Gardner is going to be there. If you don't know Paul, he is an amazing, amazing person. And so he's going to be there. It is going to be awesome, awesome, awesome. And so I'm excited about Charlotte. Last year in Charlotte, we had an amazing crowd, and it was awesome. And this time is even going to be better because we got some more people coming also. So with that, we got Bearded Soft Wash in the house. What's up? We got hit the like button for everyone. I agree. Miss Renee, hi everyone. Hope y'all had a great weekend. Nick Webb finally made it on time. And if you want to know how to get here on time, you can, if you text the word light, LITE, to 855-619-5483, this will get you the Christmas lights one. It's right now in the wintertime, or right now till now, it pretty much goes out on both. So that's what we do here. Weekend starts Tuesday, but that's when business takes over. Good, 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 good. Let's see here. You had a horse show and I had a dog show this weekend. Oh, that sounds like fun, fun, fun. Wish I could make that one, but I will see you in August. Good, I'll be there. Yeah, the one that's going to be in Charlotte is going to be amazing. There will be a lot to learn. There will be awesome people. It's going to be great. The one here in Kentucky, that is just going to be pressure washing. My August is going to be busy. So I've got a permanent light job I'm going to go help install. I've got a weekend up in Charlotte, or down in Charlotte, and then I have a training class here. So I have a busy, busy August, and I've got a lot of cool things that are coming up the pipe, and I'm excited about it. So that's what I want to hit on. All right, so let's get this show on the road. So what do we need to do to get more business? You know, I pay attention to the groups, the pressure washing groups, the Christmas light groups, the landscape lighting groups, the landscaper groups. I'm in a lot of the different groups. And here's what I am going to say about this. You have some people that it's their best year ever. And then you got some people that are like, this year sucks. And this is what I want to say to that. What we did last year may not work for what we need to do this year. I see a lot of people get into a rut where they're like, Jason, I just don't need to spend money on marketing. I'm getting all these leads and I don't need to. And here's what I want to say to this, right? And I want to talk to the people that might be low and discouraged right now, because this is important for you. if you're just starting out in the pressure washing Christmas light world and you see these people posting about all these jobs, you have to remember they've been in business 5 to 7 years. You have to do what they did to get what they're getting now. And I see this in the groups a lot. And it discourages, they're trying to sell some product that they have. But here's what I want to let you know. They didn't get there by doing nothing, right? They might be spending $1,000 on Facebook ads a month. They might be spending $100. They may have a Google business that has 100, 200, if you're in the pressure washing world, 500, 1,000 5-star reviews. So what I want to say is don't get discouraged because you see someone else on a different page or on any pages talking about all of this work that they're getting, because they had to put the time in to be able to get this, right? For Christmas lights, this is something that I see over and over. And if it's your first year, you're probably not going to get any jobs until we get into October and even November. I see this year after year. You know, I see Facebook ads, right? Because I like Facebook ads for Christmas lights. But if it's your first year, one, you probably don't know how to close jobs. And two, these are problems that you're going to run into of this is what's going to happen. And so if you're in the pressure washing world, then things slow down and it's like, what do we need to do so that way we can grow our business? And first thing is first is Google Business. Google Business Profile, right? Are you working to get reviews on every job? You know, I push this on every live. I push this on everything because it's so important. I see this so many times. I ask people, how many 5-star reviews you got? Oh, I've got about 30. And how long you been in business? Oh, 7 years, 6 years, 5 years. So you don't really care about your Google Business Profile is what you're telling me. Because you're not asking for the reviews. And if you don't ask for reviews, you're probably not going to get reviews. And I wouldn't even say probably not. I would almost go to the fact of you're not going to get reviews. So that is important. Posting pictures from the job is important. Posting pictures of you on your website, on your social medias, on your Google Business Profile. Here's why. We have to build the know, like, and trust. We don't care about people all the way across the country. We need to become celebrities in a 20-mile radius. We need everybody to know who we are in a 20-mile radius. And that's called Google Business Profile. In fact, I would say Google Business Profile is probably about a 10-mile radius. So these are things that we have to think about, right? And so if you're in a 20-mile radius, 15-mile radius, 10-mile radius, these are all things that we need to do to ask to get more business, right? I'm pulling something out here because I seen the question and I want to use this here. So these are all things that we have to do this, right? How many times do you ask? I ask and I send them a link. We need to ask them from the beginning of the job, right? We need to ask them at the very beginning on the phone call. Hey, you know, our goal is to make you so happy that you want to tell all your friends and give us a 5-star review. And then when you show up at the job, you're going to say, hey, my goal is to make you so happy that you want to give me a 5-star review and tell all of your friends for referrals. And at the end of the job, we're going to ask, is there any reason you wouldn't give me a 5-star review? And if they say no, then we make it easy. Don't be like, I'm going to send you a link. Here, I got a card. Go ahead and pull your phone out, Miss Jones, and let's scan this here so we can get this 5-star review. And because what's going to happen is some people are going to scan this and they don't have their login information. And if they don't have their login information there now, do you think they're going to give you a review later? You're crazy, right? And so reviews on Google is good, but now we need to do Google reviews on other places. We need to get reviews on different locations like Yelp, as much as I hate to say that, because the AI pulls Yelp more than they do Google My Business. And so this is the importance of why we need to make sure that we are pulling these other places so that way it will help us out. And here's another thing that can help us out for the AI of another service that I really hate is the BBB. Because I would, if I was you and I wanted to get showing up in the AI and I wanted to get shown up on Google more, I would be BBB accredited. And yes, it's going to cost you $400 a year, but that's what? One job that you get from it? Is that worth it? Yep, it is. And should you do Yelp, the $12 a month one? Probably so. So that way they don't take down your stuff. And so not only that we need to put our pictures on Google, we need to put our pictures on Yelp, and we need to put them on Google or BBB, because we have to show the credibility and the trust, right? These are all trust factors that these AI and your customers are liking to see. And so these are things that we can do to do this. And I would not disagree with this for Yelp, because here's the reason why. If you want to show up on ChatGPT, which is also Siri, ChatGPT pulls and is owned by the same company as Yelp and LinkedIn and Microsoft, right? They're all owned by the same people. And so these are all things of why we need to do this. And here's another thing I will say. If you cannot get your Google business profile through, these definitely things are going to help you more and more. And so this is something that I'm just letting you know, things that can help you, right? I canceled my BBB because they charged me $750, and I get it. I hate BBB, but I'm seeing stuff from some of the experts that I follow, a lot of the experts, and they're not just one saying this, there's several of them saying it. And so that's why I'm letting you know some things that you may want to think about. I'm not saying to do it, I'm just saying that especially you can get the free for the BBB, but because the BBB is not a friend of you. If you have a complaint, they're going to go with the customer and not you, even if you are paying them. And so these are all things that we have to think about. All right, so we do the Google business profile, and then next is, what are some other things that we might need to do? And here's some things that we can do is, you either got time or you got money, right? You either have time or you got money. So one, you either have time, so then we're going to do things like Facebook, we're going to do things like the groups, Facebook groups, or we got money, we're probably going to spend money in ads, we're going to do things like that, right? And so with that, what do you have is going to depend on what you need to do. So let's talk about some things that work. Facebook can work, but how do we become the celebrity in our town of our 10-mile, 20-mile-an-hour radius? How do we become the person that everybody knows us? Well, one, if you aren't at the 5,000 friend list of local people, then it's probably not going to work. You know, Bobby Duncan is one that I show about this all the time because he does very well with this. He does $500,000 in business by doing Facebook, and that's all he does. He doesn't pay ads. He just does Facebook, Facebook groups, but he's posting 3-5 times a day, right? These are the signals that we got to do to make this work. LinkedIn is different. LinkedIn, we're going to post once a day, but we're going to comment on other people's stuff 5 times, 5 different posts. And so these are all things that we're going to do. And yes, I love yard signs, right? Yard signs are amazing. But again, we have to keep them simple. I had somebody send me a yard sign the other day saying, "What do you think about this yard sign?" And I said, "I think it sucks." They had their logo, they had other words on there, and it made the phone number smaller, it made the Christmas lights smaller, and I'm like, you can't read what it is, right? You have to keep it simple. Christmas lights installers, and make that small. Big phone number, right? Those are the important things that's going to make the phone ring for us. People don't care about your logo on that yard sign. At this point, yard signs, we are not working for branding right now. We are working to get the phone to call. Now, if you want to put one in the yard for branding, that could be a little bit different, and I'm okay with that because people are going to be walking, people are going to see it. So these are things that we can do to keep that for us. So again, I am not big on the whole thing of, the logo, all of this, except for the branding side. And branding is coming more and more, and that is another thing that will help us out. So one of the things that I want to hit on too, that I haven't hit on this one too much, but networking. Are you doing networking groups? Are you doing BNI? Are you going and talking to people? Or are you just hoping that they're going to call you? Because this is something that is getting more and more of going in and talking to people. Go flip rocks. This is what I call flip rocks. Go find out who you need to talk to, and just go in with a different mindset. Don't go in with a mindset of, I'm going to sell this Christmas light job. I'm going to sell this pressure washing job. Go into the mindset that I'm going to have a great conversation with this person so that I can find out who I need, right? Because if I just go in thinking I'm going to sell a pressure washing or a Christmas light job, I'm probably going to get told no really fast. So these are ways that we want to try to get around gatekeepers and do these things so that way we can do this, right? That's what we want, is to make it so where we can do that. Facebook groups get pissy if you post more than once a week because you're doing it wrong, right? If you're posting in there that you're a pressure washer, I'm a pressure washer, I'm a pressure washer, you're going to get booted. But if you go in there and you give value, you engage, you ask questions, then people won't kick you out and they will know who you are. And so these are things that with Facebook groups, it's about building relationships and not just going in and building a thing of, hey, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. And so that's something that you have to look at. How do you avoid burnout? Full-time job, 50 hours, dropping signs, knocking doors, doing the job, doing maintenance on the equipment, taking the calls, running social, editing videos, no time, no money. Well, if you're not making no money, then you need to raise your prices. Because if you're that busy, then you need to make sure that you're making good money so we can start hiring people, or so you can quit your full-time job if that's what you want to do. But what I would say is raise your prices. Most of the time, raising your prices fix a lot of your problems, especially where you don't have a lot of time. Then this is definitely something that we need to do. Great training as always. Can't wait until Houston this September the 26th and 27th. Yep. If you want to know when the training is coming up, you can go to christmaslights.io slash IPT for in-person training. I will be having a class with Ron. I've got one in Charlotte coming up. I've got one here in Northern Kentucky coming up. So we've got a lot of classes coming up. So you definitely don't want to miss out. 3 Facebook posts a day. It's all washing related or just anything to make multiple posts. It is 80-20. 80% of not pressure washing and 20% pressure washing. So if you do 10 posts in a day, 2 of them are going to talk about pressure washing. 8 of them is going to talk about your friends, whatever it might be, trying to build those relationships, trying to get engagement. Those are the things that we're looking for. Those are what we're trying to do so we can build engagement. If you try to sell, you're probably nobody's going to pay attention to you, right? And so this is why we have to figure out and when we find out what gets likes, what gets comments, we do more of it. And more of it, and more of it, and more of it. And it might be a live, it might be pictures. Like right now, my stuff is all pictures. And the reason why it's all pictures is because Facebook's telling me that, hey, pictures do the best for you, Jason. So that's why I keep posting pictures at this point and not just text as much. I will post some text because some people like the text, some people don't. And so this is things that you can do, right? If you see my content, like it, comment on it. I try to do the same thing, especially if it's good. I will comment, I will like it, I will share it. You will see me share people's stuff and you're like, why are you sharing that, Jason? Because I'm trying to help my fellow pressure washer and Christmas light business owners out there for them, right? Because if I do that for you, my goal is that you do it back for me. And so these are all things that we do to work together and help each other. But if you just talk about pressure washing, that gets boring and people don't like that, right? And so that's why it's making sure that we don't just do pressure washing. My first couple years were tough and so much work. It only gets better if you take action. And that's with anything. If you don't take action, that phone is not going to ring. You have to take action. You have to go out there and get it. And it's not always easy, but it can be done. July has been slow. The beginning of the year started off record-breaking for me. 3rd year here. My first couple of years were tough. It only gets better. And again, if you have questions, put them in the group or in wherever you're watching on Facebook or LinkedIn. Here's my question for you all. What is your goal for 2025? Do you have a goal? Have you written down the goal? Is it a money goal? Or is it I want to hit 300 review goal? What are some of your goals for this year? Because if you haven't written these goals down, it's important that you start writing this stuff down and start looking at it every day and manifesting it in your brain so that it comes out, right? And so what is your goal? Just a question for y'all. What's your all's goal? Daniel put, pumped up for this week. Time to get back and build more relationships and get people excited to transform their properties for the holiday. I love Christmas lights. Excited, right? He loves Christmas lights. If you're in the Christmas light business and you're just like, I want to sell some Christmas lights, this is so much fun, you're probably not going to sell much. Like Daniel's pumped, and you need to be pumped. You got to be pumped up, ready to go. That's what you got to do, man. It's almost go time. It ain't almost go time. It is go time. So true. Odin, 150,000 gross, going into year 3, 16 years old, 17 years old. So there is no excuse of how old you are. Got to give value. Got to give your customer value, right? 100%. If you just try to go in these groups and sell, it's not going to work. It's not going to work at all. And, this is why we have to build the know, like, and trust on our website and on our Facebook and on our Google business profile and on our LinkedIn. If they know, like, and trust, they will buy from you. And so this is how you give value, is give value so that they know, like, and trust you. That's why I want you to do video. That's why this book here wants you to do video. And get out of your comfort zone. This should be your year of getting out of your comfort zone. Because you know what happens in your comfort zone? Nothing. Nothing happens in your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. Take action. But Jason is so scary. What are they going to say? No? Or they might say yes. And you're like, how do I do this big job? We'll figure it out for you. I'll help you. I love helping people. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I'm willing to help you. If you need help, I will help you figure out these big jobs. I've helped other people do it, and I'll help you do it. So do things this year to get out of your comfort zone. If you want marketing to happen and really work, get out of your comfort zone. Try things that you haven't tried before. If you haven't done a video, talk about your service. Talk about what you do, right? Does your website let you know what the next thing is? Do you have videos out through your website? Or is it just a big old blank page of nothing, of what everybody else says? What do you do that your competitors don't do? Answer the phone? Well, guess what? AI is answering phone. That's not one that really works very well anymore. Do you make sure they show up on time, or you pay if they don't pay? That's something that sets you apart from your competitors, right? Well, Jason, I can't do that. I don't know. Why can't you? Why can't you? You just got to make sure you do what you need to do and say what you're going to do. It's my first year. I had a decent amount of estimates, but only closing 30%. Good. Get more leads. Good. Get more leads. What's your average ticket? I would say it's probably pretty high. What's your follow-up? Are you following up? How many times are you following up? Are you following up one time, or are you following up 15 times? Well, 15, I don't want to bother them. Why not? Did you know that the average customer takes 11 touches before they buy? So if you only touch them one time, that's why your close rate sucks. We need to touch them 11 times. So if the average is 11, that means some people are more than that. So that means we may need to touch them 15, 20 times. Because if we go off the average is 11 touches, then we need to do it 20 times to make sure that we have that coverage of getting touched. So that way we get more close rate. I can show you other people at 30%. They're making $1 million a year. It's how do we get more leads? Because their average ticket is $2,000. I'd much rather have a $2,000 average ticket with a 30% close rate than have a $500 with a 75% close rate. So that's what I would much rather have. Buffalo Wash up in Oregon and Washington. Thank you for the value. Appreciate your content. They're making it hard up in your area to hang Christmas lights. Let's see. Goal: to be completely off the truck. Focus on sales and marketing while I grow. I don't know if you were on here, Jeremy, but the book that I'm reading, you need to read because this is going to help you. The 7 Power Contractor, if you haven't read it yet. It talks about systems. Do you have chaos? This is how you get rid of chaos because systems are important. When we want to grow and scale, it's all about systems. Do you have a system of how you get paid? Do you have a system of how to do each job? I mean, some people will be like, well, each deck is different. Is it? No. It's IPE. Okay. Or EPEC, whatever you call it. Okay. Great. Do you have a system for it versus not doing it? Right? And so that's all about systems, and it's systems that are going to help keep chaos from happening in your business. Richard said his goal is to get the phone to ring. Trying to get the ring more. So, how many yard signs you putting out? How many touches are you doing? How many Facebook posts are you doing? How many LinkedIn posts are you doing? You know, I always tell people that find the one thing that grows your business. You know, Alex Ramosi did a video that he talks about how this guy was trying to do all these things to get the phone to ring, but he knew door knocking worked. And so he's like, quit doing everything else and go door knock. You know it works, and go knock on 100 doors, and it's going to get you to where you want to be at. But we try to do everything, and I see so many times that what does work, we quit doing it because it's hard. But you can do hard things, and it's okay to do hard things. So that's why you want to do that. Let's see. That book was the best book I've read in a long time. Downloaded the Audible app, bought it, and wow, you're missing out if you haven't read this book. Thanks to you, now I've listened to 123 checkbooks, and I don't know, that's probably not what you said, but that's what it says. Oh, hey, check your spam email. I sent you an email about Charlotte training. Okay. Where did you send it to? Because one of the many emails I get, but I don't get. Kurt Gear, hello everywhere. I'm just getting started. So here's some words of encouragement, Kurt. It don't happen overnight, and it takes work. But there's nothing special about people like Daniel that did $179,000 his first year. There's nothing special about Maurice that did $100,000 pressure washing in his first year. It's about taking action, and it's not about learning all about the pressure washing. Figure out marketing or Christmas lights. Figure out marketing, figure out sales, and go sell jobs, and you'll be successful. I now listen to books while I wash, and this was the best book I've read in a long time, and so much value in this book. Thank you for the recommending it. Game changer. Are you talking about Endless Customers, or are you talking about the other one? I'm assuming you're talking about Endless Customers, but you could be talking about the other one. I'm getting responsibility solely for the follow-up sequences and packages. And don't just hammer. You know, I had somebody ask me the other day, what if I aggravate people? Good. I wanted them to either tell me yes or no, right? I'm going to hammer and do it for years, 2 years. We had our set up for 2, 3 years out. That's how long we had our set up for. I definitely need to raise my prices. My close rate is pretty high. Yep. Facts. Fleet wash through the wintertime. My goal isn't money. My goal is setting systems up and getting enough clients to be able to go full time next year. Awesome. It was that email that is posted in the training for Christmas nights. Okay. I haven't even. I always go through my emails with my assistant on those Monday mornings. Endless customer. That's what I'm thinking. This is their book, and this is what I'll tell you about this book. Don't just read it once. Read it 2 or 3 times, and take action on it, and start doing the things that you need to do. And this here will change your business. If you're having problems with your business, you need to take this book, read it, and take action on it. Read a couple pages and take action on it. This is not a book that you read and be like, yep, that's a great book. Because if we don't take action on it, you might as well not have read it. I did really well getting reviews year 1, 50, but I slacked off year 2. Is there an automated way you would recommend that keeps pinging them and makes it easy for them? Yes, we can send text after the invoice goes out. We can send text, we can send email, but honestly, I would do the cards and make your guys ask for the reviews. And being that you're paying piece rate, they get $25 for every review they get, because that's how important these reviews are. If they can get this review at the end of the job, is huge. So that's why we're asking for them after every time we do it. They're asking, because reviews are huge. I would say reviews right now is one of the top factors for your Google My Business. So it's important that we make sure that we're asking for the reviews over and over and over, right? We're going to ask for it there. We're going to send it. We're going to text it. We're going to email it. We're going to do everything we can to get these reviews, because reviews are super important. So, any advice on door hangers for Christmas lights? Yes. So they kind of got to be like yard signs. They have to be very catchy, because it goes from the doorknob to the garbage can, and we got to catch their attention in between. So we need it to be very catchy, and we need it to be very simple. If there's too many words on it, then it's probably going to be too much. If it's too cluttered and they can't figure out what they're doing or what you're doing, it's probably going to be too much. So that is what I would say with your door hangers. Now, if you are going to do door hangers, this is another thing that you need to do. You need to do it like EDDM, every door direct mail. You need to do this every 4 to 6 weeks of door hanging the same area over and over and over. Because it is kind of a little bit more like branding versus just a door hanger, or a sign. So to be successful with door hangers, you do have to do them every 3 to 6 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks, and you need to do them 3 or 4 times for them to be successful. One place I will say door hangers work is if you're doing door knocking with the door hangers. Because if you don't get a customer to come, you can put the door hanger and then you don't move on to the next neighborhood till you get them all knocked. Thanks for sharing your experience, Zach. I got it on repeat. Endless customers is amazing. I got videos on Facebook based off this video. Start your YouTube, right? So here's another thing that you may not know. Where is the top 3 places that the AI gets its information? What are the top 3 places that AI gets its information? 1 is Reddit. 2 is Quora. And 3 is YouTube. So this is why it is so important that we have these videos and we're answering these people's questions on there, right? So that's why we want to do that, because those are very important. My brother has an amazing door hanger design. They work really well. Yes, his is simple, like you say. If I don't have a website yet, are Facebook reviews important, or do I need to pull the trigger in getting a website? You can do Facebook reviews. You can do Google Business reviews. You can do Google Business Profile, but Google Business Profile is a little bit harder to do if you don't have a website. So it isn't like the old days, and I know you might find some people that don't have a website. That's a way you can do it. Another way you can do it, if it's a Christmas Lights or pressure washing, depending on which one it is, you can join christmaslights.io and you get a template website. Plus, you get to come on the Zoom calls every Monday night, and we get to talk about marketing, and you get to talk to cool people like Daniel and Rick Moosey and Dan, and there's about 15 of us or 20 that show up week after week, and so it's pretty cool to see how the mastermind has grown, and it is awesome. Did you ever use virtual assistants for office admin? I'm thinking about it, but I'm not knowledgeable on how it works. So I would never use a virtual assistant for customer facing stuff for what you're probably looking at. I personally would not do it. I would use them for my video editing, for social media stuff, those types of things. I would be really hesitant of using a virtual assistant for things like customer facing stuff. Not to say that they can't do it, but they don't know nothing in your area. They don't know any of that stuff. And so that's where that problem becomes. I listen to Endless Customers and your podcast on Audible. I mean, what else is there to listen to, right? Reddit, right? That's what I said. That's pretty much what I said when I heard that. But if you look at Google search, you will find Reddit stuff on there. So there is ways that you can use that to your advantage. And if you're not if you are on Reddit, I have started a Christmas light thread or Christmas light whatever on there. I may have to go find it because you're probably not going to find it on your own because it's not very. I've just literally started it, and I'm not 100% how sure Reddit works for everything. So it's christmaslights.io is the group that I started, and again, it's I don't know. It's one of those things that it's interesting to see how to do it. So if you join it, then awesome is what I'll just say. I'll see if I can find the link here so that if you want to join it, the group, and again, this is something that you can use it to your advantage, as in you can be like, who's the best Christmas light person in this area, and you can do it that way. But again, I don't even know if I can show it or not because I have to find it, and I'm not finding it right now because I don't know where the group is. There it is. Now I just got to figure out how to do it. I don't know how to share this. But again, the group is christmaslights.io is the group. Oh, here we go. I figured it out. I'll post it in there if you want to join it. I'm not on Reddit very much, but there it is. You can go join it. I'll be your first member on Reddit. AI needs to chill with Reddit, Cora. A lot of bad information on there, right? Why are people afraid to do yard signs back in the same areas until that call come in asking to opt out? Why are people afraid to do yard signs back in the same area until that call come in asking to opt out? I don't know what you mean by opting out. And I don't know why people are afraid of yard signs because yard signs work amazing. I see it. Hey, Jason. That's interesting with Reddit and Quora. Would have never guessed that. Right? I seen that. Actually, Neil Patel was the one that did the. Neil Patel did a one, and it was on either Search Engine Journal or one of the things, and it shows the data of how much that is. And so it's pretty crazy how that works. That was the ones that was there. I'll see if I can find it. Neil Patel. Top 3 places to show up. I don't know if I'll be able to find it or not, but it was pretty crazy to see that the data of where it all come from. Neil Patel, top 3 ways to show up. But yeah, so Neil Patel was the one that did a big article on this, and he was in a blog or an article. I don't remember now. I can't find it, but that's why it's crazy that when you start seeing this stuff of. I wish I'd have kept it now, but I didn't keep it. But DJ, I think DJ sent it to me, so I'll see if I can find it here. If not, I'll look it up and see if I can find it later. Oh, here it is right here. Um, Here it is right here. Um, it is on SEM Rush. But yeah, so that's the crazy part of this, of seeing how this is. Um, Now I want to find it for y'all. Sorry about that. Hold on. I want to pull this up for you because this is important. Um, I know I'm kind of doing two things at once here, but this is important that, how do we get seen? How do we look it up? How do we find this stuff? Right? These are all important things that a lot of times we don't think about this stuff. We don't think about that this is what we can do to get seen. Um, there was a nice looking graph too. Yeah, this isn't going to show me very good. I'm gonna put the link in there for y'all, so that way you get the link too. Um, Copy. I'm kind of swirling right now, but paste. Here's the link that I was talking about it, so y'all can go check it out. Could you help walk through how to handle price objections? So, what price objections do you have? Right? That's too high. Well, does your website, it's back to the pictures you post and the pictures that you do. This is all things that are going to help with price objections, right? If you post pictures of, let's say for pressure washing, you post pictures of a trailer that is nasty, dirty, and it looks great, but that's not your customer, right? Or maybe you have lights on a little bitty house. That's not your customer, right? We want lights on a big house because we want to show that we do big work. Now, sometimes we might not have this. So this is also why we post pictures of you. If they say your prices are too high, there's a couple ways you can handle this. One, you can use a technique called mirroring. And you say, too high? And you kind of raise your voice a little bit, too high? Like, what are you talking about, too high? Because then you're probably going to find out what the objection is. If they say it's too high, that's probably not the objection that you got to overcome. And so these are things that you got to look at and think about when you're doing this. Yeah. So that's just something that you got to do. So you're saying have the wife make a Reddit post, who is the best pressure washing, and have friends say use. Not only say you, but put your website there. And this is what you would do, is do it in local threads. So if, for instance, do it in the Cincinnati thread. Who is the best pressure washer in Cincinnati? I actually just posted this in the Cincinnati one. And so, and you can wait a couple days and be like, this is, Liberty Power Wash is the best Christmas light or the best pressure washing company in Cincinnati, and give a little bit about why they are. He has great customer service. They always answer the phone. Danny does an amazing job, whatever you need to do to make it sound good. So think of ways to pre-qualify so you can spend more time on people who are your customers. For Christmas lights, price objection, we're going to hit that before we ever go out or give them a quote. Hey, our prices start at $1,000. Our average customer spends about $2,000. Is that something that you would want me to give you a detailed quote for? And then you shut up. and it's going to get awkward. It's going to go with Christmas lights. It's going to go one of two ways. Are you freaking nuts? There's no way in heck I'm going to pay that. I only thought this was going to be $200. Click. Or it's going to go dead silent, and you're going to be like, did he hang up on me? I don't hear the buzzing noise yet. Yeah, that sounds good. And we can kind of do that too with even the other way of, pressure washing and stuff. So, again, if you want to learn more about Christmas lights, I got several classes coming up. ChristmasLights.io/IPT. We are going to have Christmas lights. The first day is going to be Christmas lights. The second day is going to be marketing. The third day is going to be permanent lights in Charlotte. We got Paul Gardner going to be there speaking. We got another person that's coming and speaking. It's going to be awesome. I guarantee you, if you come in with Paul Gardner, you will get your money's worth times 10. I will give you your money's worth times 10. He gives you another 10 on top of it. I also have some trainings coming up for pressure washing. If you want to learn how to do pressure washing, it's a 2-day class coming up in the end of August. It's going to be a Thursday, Friday class on the end of August. If you want to learn how to do pressure washing, go to kpwtrain.com. kingofpressurewash.com will also get you there, and go to in-person training. But I will teach you, the first day we'll learn about safety and learn how not to shoot your eye out, and how to use the right chemicals so you don't blow up, and how not to hit the electric line so you don't shock yourself to death. Yes, every one of these have happened to people. I've got pictures of it. So we make sure that you stay safe. And then the day 2, we're going to talk about marketing and sales and get you out of your comfort zone. My goal in these upcoming classes is, how can I get you out of your comfort zone? Because if you're in your comfort zone, you're not growing in your comfort zone. I want you to grow your business. I want you to be successful, and I want you to get out of your comfort zone. When you get out of your comfort zone, that's when amazing things happen to you, and you will change your life when you get out of your comfort zone. We all love our comfort zone, but that's our biggest place that we will never grow, in our comfort zone. So with that, go check out ChristmasLights.io. If you need Christmas lights, ChristmasLight.io. I'm going to be having some giveaways coming up, so stay paying attention to it. I might have a giveaway of whoever joins my Reddit thread and starts commenting or starts posting on there. I may give something away for that. So, but again, hopefully you all have a great week. Stay hydrated. It's hotter than the gates of Hades out there. Stay hydrated. It is hot. Don't fall off roofs. I know, talking about this, let's talk about safety, because this is important. Listen, guys, I don't care if you're pressure washing. I don't care if you're roof cleaning. I don't care if you're hanging Christmas lights. We got to stay safe. There was another guy fell off last week, and he's not here no more. And he had 2 or 3 little kids, and he was the sole provider. I don't know the details. I just know he fell off a roof, and he's not here. I know 2 people died last year. One person hit electric lines and shocked him and killed him, and the other person fell off a roof too. And I know more people fell off roofs. They just didn't get hurt. But let's start going with a safety mindset. Let's start thinking about doing things. Don't do sketchy stuff. Pay attention when you're up on these roofs. A lot of times we take these roofs for granted, and it's just a 412. It's real easy walkable. All you have to do is step in the wrong place, and you fall off that roof, and you're dead. I hate seeing these people dying from falling off roof accidents. It's going to do a couple things. If it keeps happening, we won't be able to get insurance, or it's going to cost out an arm and a leg for insurance. And so not only that, you're not here. And I don't care how much a Christmas light job is. I don't care how much a roof job is. It's not worth falling off of a roof, because it's going to be real expensive. And if you don't have your business set up right, you're probably going out of business if you're still here. So let's stay safe. Let's be careful. Let's think. Let's not do sketchy, stupid stuff, because that's usually when you get in trouble. I just got to go another foot. Move the ladder. Move the ladder. But Jason, I don't want to move the ladder. That's going to take too much time. Well, let me tell you something. It's better than the alternative of pushing up roses and daisies. So make sure that we're staying safe out there and on these ladders. Hey, new here. First time catching you live. Here to learn, face green smiling. So again, I go live on this every Wednesday night and every Wednesday night I go live, and every Sunday night I go live. Sunday night is either pressure washing or marketing. Wednesday night is either Christmas lights or marketing or sales. So if you want to know when I go live, you can text the word light, L-I-T-E. You can text the word light to L-I-T-E, and you can text it to this number here when I find it. 855. Where'd that go? Where'd it go, Jason? Oh, here it is. 855-619-5483. If you've got questions for me, you can text me at this one here. I don't have it set up really well for phone calls. Sometimes the phone calls come through, sometimes they don't. So if you got a question, you can text it here. I will answer your questions, and I will get you. If you got a question about Christmas lights, if you're looking to order stuff, text me, call me. And I'm going to be changing it where if you call it, it'll come through to me. If you got a question about permanent lights, don't hesitate to call me there either. So between those two, again, my goal is to help you grow. My goal is to help you get to 100,000. My goal is to help you get to 1 million. I don't know what your goal is, but that's my goal, is to help you get there. And I want to be your biggest cheerleader when you get there. That is the best excitement that I get, is when I see people be like, Jason, I did 100,000 last year, and that was my first year. And I'm like, great, that's awesome. You're amazing, right? I will be your biggest cheerleader at the end of the day. Wow, so sorry to hear that, right? So with that, hopefully you all have a great week. Go be great this week. Go get out of your comfort zone and go be great this week. I'll see you on Wednesday.